Today we're discussing some of the techniques that we use to estimate home values. Property value is traditionally determined in three ways. Now, the first is called the income approach. This method bases valuation on the property's ability to generate income and takes into consideration what the current expected rate of return is. This depends on external factors such as inflation, interest rates, legality and stability of the income, and the condition of the property. This can be very useful for commercial and revenue property. The next approach is called the cost approach, and this involves pricing the value of the land and then determining the cost to rebuild the property less any depreciation. This method is commonly used by insurance companies and is very useful for unique properties with no direct comparables or even income potential. In residential real estate, both appraisers and realtors tend to use the direct comparison approach. A real estate agent may produce a report called a comparative market analysis, or CMA, which includes properties that have similar characteristics or appeal to buyers. These similar properties are referred to as comparables. Appraisers will typically do a more in-depth comparison between each property, making calculated adjustments for premiums and deficits. Agents, on the other hand, rarely make these adjustments but are generally quite skilled at selecting the right properties that are equivalent in the eyes of a buyer. There are some properties that have so few comparables available that an accurate value cannot be determined with traditional methods. In response, we developed some of our own techniques to deal with that scenario. The first method we use is to take a property that is not comparable, but has sold recently. Now, in order for this to work, we also need this property to have been last purchased in the same market as our subject property. By looking at these two data points, we can estimate the growth in the market from the time the listing was originally purchased to today. Another tool that uses a similar approach it's created by the Canadian Real Estate Association. It's called the Home Price Index. Similar to what I just mentioned, an estimate can be determined to see how much the market grew between the date the home was last purchased and today. Now, neither of these methods account for substantial renovations which might have been done to the home from the time it was last bought to the time it was to be listed. And we need to adjust for those renovations separately. Ultimately, there's no one perfect method for home pricing, but at Alexandrite Real Estate Ltd, we have found that additional layers of analysis provide better accuracy, which give our clients the best results possible and help to avoid leaving money on the table. If you have any questions about your home's value, please reach out to an Alexandrite real estate agent, and we're always happy to help.